Oh, picks, yes.
Picks.
Let's get to what Michael Specs has been waiting for.
Yeah, from the Stuarts Cajun Dill Pickles presenting Week 0 picks.
Presented by Stuarts Cajun Dill Pickles. Did I get that title right?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm probably going to screw that up a couple times.
Do not say what I'm
Justin's
thinking.
going to get us the stuff, and we're going to proudly display them during picks, because picks is, I might be jealous. I might be, biased about it, but I think it is our best segment.
It is definitely our best segment.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun too.
So
it is a lot of fun. So let's
We got all the sponsors now, by the way.
We're getting there. We got 3 so far. We're getting there. We're moving on up like the Jeffersons. All right. So shall we get into our picks? All right. So here's in case you are new to us, here's how the picks work. We start. We go in order, and we shift the order every week. So Steve, you'll go first, followed by me, Jeb, Jake, and Becky. And then next week, I'll go first.
Let's split that and let Becky go first this week.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go reverse order then. So Becky, Jake, Jeb, myself, and then Steve, you'll go last. Does that sound good to everybody?
Yes, and feel free to play along in the chat.
Yes, play along in the chat. You can test yourself against us, which if you tested yourself against me at the tail end of last season, probably wasn't difficult to beat me because I came limping in. So, however, we kick this thing off, Becky. In Dublin, Ireland, you have Navy versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 20.5-point favorites across the pond. Becky.
What's up, guys? It's nice to be back finally.
Hello, Becky.
Yeah.
Yay. I feel like it's a little bit of cheating making me go first because y'all are just going to copy my picks since we all know they're going to be correct.
So, the Alabama of picks.
Why would I not copy them?
Well, anybody that's foolish enough to pick the Pumpkin Spice Brigade over the Midshipmen are crazy pants. We're going Navy all day, every day.
Pumpkin Spice Brigade?
That's so good.
How did we get there?
Tell me you don't look at Notre Dame and just think everybody on that campus is lined up for the next pumpkin spice, whatever they're putting out this fall.
You just have
100% Notre Dame.
You've just been watching Rudy too much and seeing those scenes where he's walking through campus in the fall. So I guess you got that on my.
It's the pumpkin spice.
That's so good.
God, I love it. So you're picking Navy.
Navy all day, every day.
All right.
Navy plus 20.5. Jake.
I'm actually going Navy as well. I don't know much about Navy. I just know that their offense is always tricky to.
They got a new offense coordinator.
Yeah, they're always tricky to stop. They still do the triple option crap and all that. So, and they will run a lot of time off the clock with the time clock, the game clock moving. So they may run 8-9 minutes off if they keep moving the ball. So I don't see how Notre Dame gets that 20.5. So I'm picking Navy.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I'm going to agree. I'm sticking with Navy too, just because of the same deal. I just think Navy is one of those teams that's Notre Dame's not used to dealing with, and I know with Tennessee, you guys had that same problem with teams like that. And when we're just not used to that triple option, it makes it hard to actually contain it. Navy, I think Notre Dame will win, probably by at least 14 points, but I just feel like Navy can cover that spread just enough. It'll be like 14 to 17 point spread, just enough just to break some people's hearts.
Nah, guys,
even 20 will win it. So.
I would so love the Pumpkin Spice Brigade to just go right down like they did against Marshall last year, but I just don't think that happens. I don't know if you guys know how bad Navy is right now. Navy, I think, finished dead last in the American a year ago. They don't return much. They got a new offensive coordinator, which it's the same system, but like when you look at
coach, right?
Yeah, new head coach as well. So when you look in that system and the variations, it might as well be a brand new offense. So they're learning a new way of doing things. This will be the first time they haven't had Ken Niumatalolo in probably 1.5 or 2 decades. So I'm picking Notre Dame. Notre Dame's going to get up on them quick. They're going to stay up on them, and there's not a whole lot Navy's going to be able to do about it.
I hope some Navy SEALs don't come to your house and knock Corey.
And I agree with Corey there.
They will probably say, I agree, even though we're badasses. Our football team is just not there yet.
I do think it's hilarious that the Fighting Irish is going to Ireland to where that is probably a racist statement. To do that, like extremely derogatory. And
that's a badge of honor over there.
Dublin.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
that's
yeah, I do think Notre Dame is going to
How they
win
greet
by
each other.
3 touchdowns. I think Sam Hartman at quarterback is going to be a little bit too much for the Navy
that's
midshipmen.
dangerous. Yeah, that's dangerous.
I don't know. Navy
I'm
might be
rooting for
jet
Navy.
lagged, and for the Navy, that's just a normal Tuesday, man.
Exactly.
Travel all over the world. They don't care.
They swam to the game. So
Right.
Exactly.
all right, Becky. The Miners of the University of Texas El Paso are 1.5 point favorites at Jacksonville State. And I believe Jacksonville State's making their FBS debut. Becky.
All right, so UTEP is predicted to win by 1.5. Is that
That is right. They are
the line?
favored
Is that what you just
by
said?
yeah, so it's pretty much a pick 'em.
Well, fun fact, I learned today that Jacksonville State is not in Florida. So apparently they're in Alabama school.
They're in Alabama. They're Eastern
yeah.
Alabama.
Nah, no. We're just gonna go UTEP.
All right. Brevity.
They're actually in Eastern Alabama instead of West Georgia. So okay, got it.
Yeah. We claimed them, not Auburn. So yeah.
Nice.
So I'm picking Jacksonville State. You got to stick with the home team, and they're going to struggle a little bit. But I mean, this is a toss up. And I don't know much about UTEP. I know they've had some good years and had some bad years, but I feel like Jacksonville State making their debut, they're going to be up and ready to show that hey, we belong in FBS. So I feel like they can squeak out a win, maybe by like a field goal.
Okay, Jeb.
Yeah, with this one, I mean, UTEP's not they've never been like great school. They're okay, kind of down the middle of the road. I don't know that much about Jacksonville State with this being their first year up here in FBS. I'm excited to see it. I want to see how they do, but I decided to go with Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I'm good.
Line. I mean,
here's the thing: Jacksonville State it was a really strong FCS program.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the history states that strong FCS programs usually do pretty well in their jump to FBS. James Madison is the latest example. But Coastal, Appalachian State have all been good since they made their jumps. Georgia Southern has been pretty good since they made their jump. They had a slight rough patch, but they're relatively pretty good. Georgia State has been bowling since they made the jump. Yeah. So there's been history of these strong FCS programs making a successful first jump. I don't think UTEP is that good. So I think Jacksonville State at home is going to win this game. And we also had former Jacksonville State / former Georgia quarterback Christian LeMay on our show back in the spring. So
nice.
Go Gamecocks.
To me, UTEP is known for two things. That whenever I think of UTEP, I think of two things. And first of all, it's Tim Hardaway and the UTEP two-step. Mm-hmm. Remember that from the Killer crossover? Yeah. Nice. And also Mike Price coached there. And coming to Alabama, that could be extremely relevant. I do think Jacksonville State in their first game in FBS is going to be able to pull it out. I think Rich Rod, who is the coach at Jacksonville State, he has his particular type athletes that like to run the football, that cause a little bit of trouble running the ball. So I think they'll be able to actually make enough plays and take this pick 'em and turn it around on them.
Yep.
All right. Well, there you go. We got a Miner and 3 Gamecocks.
By the way, real quick, did y'all see what Joey said in the chat? We're going to be the pickle pickers.
Pickers.
That reminded me when I was like 13.
It sounds dirty. All right, so
we might
our next game. Our next game, UMass at New Mexico State. New Mexico State is 6.5 point favorites at home. That game is on ESPN. Becky.
Instant classic, right? The mass holes versus the cacti, I'm assuming they are.
They're the Aggies.
Oh, obviously. Of course. I'm going mass holes.
The mass holes versus the Walter Whites.
I'm going with New Mexico State. I am doing I've still got the old NCAA 13 game. I've been playing it a lot. Started a dynasty, but in that dynasty, UMass has only won like 10 games, and I'm like 10 or 6 years into my dynasty. So they're not a good team. I don't think they've improved much. So
it's
New
a
Mexico
realistic
State.
game.
Yeah. So New Mexico State all day.
Jeb?
Yeah, no, I'll agree with that. UMass has just been terrible recently. So I think they might have won, one game last year?
Right.
I can't really pick them anything. Now, New Mexico State started off horribly. They kind of finished stronger. I'm just going to hope they ride that finish into a new season, and I'm going to take them in those points.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game between two pretty bad teams. I don't know how bad or how good New Mexico State's going to be. I know how bad
State went to a
UMass
bowl
is.
last year.
I know how, but I know how bad
strong,
UMass is.
Mm-hmm.
I know how bad UMass is. So for that reason and that reason alone, give me the Aggies -6.5.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think of the fact that the Aggies are a 6-point favorite over Air. Honestly, but they're that against UMass. So I'm going with New Mexico State. Jerry Kill, the coach, he's doing good things in New Mexico. And by the way, fun fact: UTEP and New Mexico State are like 60 miles from each other, playing in week 0 against different teams.
Oh,
Nice,
of course.
nice. Yeah, UTEP's traveling though. It'd be a hell of a thing if they were hosting both of them. So, speaking of hosting, in that part of the country, San Diego State, 2.5-point favorites at home as they host the Bobcats of Ohio.
Wow.
That game will be played on FS1.
Honestly got nothing for this. Ohio is just about as milk toast as you can possibly get. So I'm going to go with San Diego State.
The Aztecs. All right, Jake.
Becky, I agree with you. Aztecs are really, really good, strong football team. So I just don't see how they lose this game against Ohio. So I'm picking San Diego State.
Jeb?
Yeah, I just, and I don't know that much about either team. I just go with San Diego State as being a better team because it's in a better conference, and they do pretty well in that conference. Ohio's not bad, but I couldn't really tell you enough about them to tell you who I really think will win. With it being this close of a line, I'm just going to go with San Diego State to win that outright.
Guys, Ohio is one of the favorites to win the MAC conference. So,
valedictorian in summer school.
Yeah, well, I mean,
San Diego State. Impressed with that?
Well, they're both G5. So, I mean, we're
they did well last year.
We're not impressed by anything. So, yeah. Ohio's a strong G5 team. They are. So I'll take them and the +2.5 to not only cover, but they're going to win this thing outright. Give me the Bobcats.
Nice. I'm going with San Diego State. For whatever reason, I don't know. I do like Snapdragon Stadium, the new stadium in San Diego, and that's going to be the home of the new MLS team whenever it gets done as well. It's pretty nice. It's not quite Jack Murphy Stadium and the Marshall Faulk age of San Diego State, but
Marshall.
They play pretty well. So I'll go with the Aztecs in that game.
The Fighting Rashad Pennies. Okay. Our next game, a game that I'm probably going to be attending. I'm going to be sitting amongst the rubble. Hawaii comes to town, comes to Nashville to play Vandy. Vandy is 17.5-point favorites. How they're that big of favorites over anybody is beyond me.
Poor Hawaii.
However, exactly. However, Becky, who do you have?
I honestly can't believe there's a scenario where I'm going to say this, but the Commodores, they're going to just smash the ukuleles and make them sorry. Probably by 24 points.
Becky, I knew it was going to be hard to top the Pumpkin Spice Brigade, but
that's good.
That was pretty good.
Wait, are you saying that they're not the ukuleles?
They are the ukuleles.
Okay.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying you came out so strong with the Pumpkin Spice Brigade that you set the bar high for yourself.
They do look like a group of people that would be in line for the next pumpkin spice thing.
Yeah,
I mean, Becky nailed that.
She did. I'm not disagreeing with that either. I'm not saying she did nail it. I'm saying she came out hot. She started strong. Jake?
I am picking, if you saw our picks, anchor down, Jeb.
Jeb, we know who you're picking.
Yeah. Well, Vandy, look, in the SEC, they're not going to do well.
be a
But
homer.
outside the SEC, come
Homer.
on, Hawaii's terrible.
I
think
they
they beat
probably
Hawaii,
only
like-
beat Tennessee by 10 points.
Yeah, shut up.
14.
Homer.
They may only
You're such
score
a
10
homer.
points, but
They still win 10-0.
yeah, no, Tennessee's not going to score less than 25 in any game this season. I'm going to tell you that right now. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Outside of Georgia.
Is
What?
Anthony Richardson Jr. the quarterback?
Yeah. What the?
Joe Milton has been amazing this offseason.
Hey, did
He
you
is
hear
just-
he can throw a tennis ball 90 yards?
Yeah.
Hey,
Was there a receiver on the roof? Okay,
Yeah.
that's right.
he has not thrown an
Yeah.
interception the entire camp. Not
How
one
bad is your defense then?
Yeah, seriously.
Have they?
That's
have
not
they
the
done
point.
route- Are they only
You're
doing routes
focusing on the
air?
wrong part. Stop focusing on that part.
Are they only doing routes on air?
Yeah.
I didn't say everybody caught the ball. I'm just saying there was nobody
No,
could get to it at all. So.
Joe Milton
Yeah.
does not like throwing passes in Neyland
Right.
Stadium.
Right. This is a proven fact.
He's the only one who didn't want to throw anything that night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shut up.
I'm picking Vandy. I mean, it's just
Yes.
Hawaii's pitiful. They're just pitiful. I mean, and I'm a big AJ Swan fan. I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I think Vandy's going to do some good things, and that's going to start this week against Hawaii.
And I think Will Shepard's going to play in the league. They do need to find a running back. I do think that Vandy is going to have no problem beating Hawaii by more than 17.5 points. This could be like a 55-10 type game. Although
Last year
Vandy,
was-
Last year
they
was
need to be
something.
careful not to wander into the construction zones whenever you score a touchdown.
Yeah, really.
Don't trip out. Look,
Danger
don't
down
get to me. If you get to me over in the rubble, you've gone too far.
So Corey, you're gonna be one of the 40 fans there.
Yeah.
We'll be able to pick you out on
Yeah.
TV.
Me and Matt
Yeah.
Perkins will be fan number 39 and 40.
There you go.
The question
So-
is, will Vanderbilt sell out a game this year?
Yes.
Yes, because that's not going to take much.
Yeah.
It's 28,000 people.
They'll get
And there's
half
no
of that.
Tennessee. There's no Ole Miss.
Yeah.
There is
I
Georgia.
don't think – is Georgia in Nashville?
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll sell that out.
There is Georgia. They will sell that out.
That's only what, a couple
They
hours drive?
absolutely will.
Might not be enough, very many Vandy fans there, but yeah.
Well, we didn't say who the people were going to root
I
for.
thought
We
they
just
I
said
thought they
sell
were
out.
going to sell out homecoming because that's just a grudge match. This is a chance for Vandy to have the all-time series against the Auburn Tigers in their
Yes.
favor.
Yes.
Steve, you're really working on Auburn fans hating you. You're doing a good job too.
Mhm.
So
It's just too much.
Mhm.
it is our next game. San Jose State. The Fighting Spartans. They're the Spartans, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. San Jose State travels down the road to LA to take on USC, the real
Nobody's
USC.
going to see it.
Fight on.
Nobody's gonna see
USC, 30.5-point favorites.
That is
Becky.
a stupid spread.
Mm.
30.5 points. Trojans are going to be like angry skipping back into the locker room. They're not winning this one.
it. Oh my gosh.
You're picturing it, aren't you?
Meet the
Yeah.
Spartans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Okay, Jake.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
I
Sorry.
love it.
I think Caleb Williams probably scored 30 points in the first quarter against San Jose State. I mean, he is the
He's trying
probably
to win
yeah. I mean, he's future Heisman. He's probably a Heisman hopeful. He's probably going to win the Heisman this year if they have a
Again.
good season.
They
Yeah,
need to
so-
score 59 points, though, because that defense at USC is Charmin extra soft. They
It
brought
is.
that with them from Oklahoma.
Yeah, it is. And San Jose State, it's not really saying much, but I mean, they had a chance to beat Auburn last year, which
They're
again,
sporty.
I didn't say much. So
They're sporty.
yeah. So, but USC's too talented offensively, and San Jose State's defense is not that great. So I think Caleb Williams just trashes them all game.
All right. Yeah, Jeb. I'm on something.
No, I'm going with USC. I don't like the size of the spread, but USC is just going to be good this year. And that's my other problem too. I really like San Jose State too as a team. I think they're going to be solid. So that makes me like that's the reason I hesitate. But USC, I just think their offense is going to put up some big numbers against teams like San Jose State. So I'm gonna go with them.
Yeah, I feel like USC has this weird chip on their shoulder where they're like, we're going to the Big Ten. We got to show out. And Caleb Williams is going to win the Heisman. We got to show out. And I think that's why they're going to just run it up on poor San Jose State. So I this is a stupid spread. If it was any other team, I probably wouldn't pick it. But this is I'm taking the Trojans here.
Yeah, this game is a tree falling in the woods type situation because it's on the Pac-12 network, and who knows how to see that. So is this game actually going to happen, or are they just going to make up some score at the end of it?
Right.
I mean, nobody's going to know what happens. Either way, though, I think USC is probably going to score enough to cover that 30-point line.
30.5. Our next game, FIU, the Panthers at Louisiana Tech. Louisiana Tech at home is 11-point favorites. That game is on CBS Sports Network. Becky.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from this is like the fancy frat boys versus the crawdaddies, I'm guessing.
Fancy frat
boys. My money is always going to be on the crawdaddies out in the mud handling business.
Fancy frat boys. I don't know if there's fancy frat boys at FIU. I think they're
in Miami, maybe. Yeah.
Because the further south
collars,
you go in
all
Florida,
in pastels, little khaki short shorts. They're fancy frat boys, and the crawdaddies are going to whoop them.
Crawdaddies. All right, Jake.
So I actually did a little bit of research on this game. I don't know why. It just caught my eye. So couple of fun facts I found about this game. FIU won in overtime last year against La Tech. I know it's at home, but they did win in overtime. And this year, La Tech's their number one running back is out for this game. So he averaged 155, or he had 155 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game last year against FIU. So without a rushing attack, it's going to be hard to get a lot of touchdowns. I feel like in this game, it kind of favors FIU, and they already have the win over them last year in overtime. So, and that was, I think it was like a 7-point, might have been a 3-point game, but. So, I mean, these games are really, really close. So 11 points is a big spread in this game.
Jeb.
And actually, I kind of felt the same way. I felt like, because neither of these teams are very good, but I felt like they were kind of evenly matched. So I think I was picking on the spread and just went with FIU to cover the spread.
Yeah, I think when you look at Mike McIntyre, he's in his second year. He's been a really good coach. He did pretty good at Colorado. I think his overall record doesn't really reflect how good of a coach he is, because he's been in some really rough situations. FIU was probably one of the roughest situations he took over for. Louisiana Tech's not that good either. So the Crawdaddies and the Panthers aren't good. So my rule of thumb is if both teams are bad and you got a double-digit line, take the dog. So I'm taking the dog here, FIU. I think Louisiana Tech wins it, but they don't cover. So give me the points.
No. I like Sonny Cumbie. I like what Louisiana Tech is building. That program is kind of growing. So we'll be able to see maybe if they have a quarterback that can run their system. Trey Harris was there. He transferred to Ole Miss. How did they replace him? I do think that they will be able to win because FIU is the poorest FBS school in the country.
Really?
You would not think that. It feels like it would be a hoity-toity type school, but it is the poorest FBS school in the country.
I remember watching the video. It's been several years ago, but I remember seeing, I think La Tech was playing Mississippi State, and La Tech had an 80-yard fumble that pushed them all the way back, and it's like
they were third and goal from the -7.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the -7. That was hilarious.
It's impressive.
They just kept kicking it down the field. It was pretty funny. And Steve, you it's really surprising that Ole Miss got a transfer quarterback. I would have never guessed that. So
what?
Our last game. Yeah, sarcasm. Our last game, Kent State traveling to Steve, you and Becky and Jeb's neck of the woods, Orlando, to take on UCF. UCF is 35-point favorites.
35 points. That's silly. It's my understanding, too, that Kent State doesn't even have a mascot, which I think is kind of sad, and it bums me out. So
They're the Golden
I think
Flashes.
Sure, Corey. That sounds super reasonable. So I'm going to throw my support behind Kent State. They're going to surprise UCF, and they're going to lose by less than 14.
Okay. The Golden Flashes.
Yeah. Do not call them Central Florida.
Don't do it.
Are we allowed to call Central Florida by a nickname anymore, or do we have to just say the University of Central Florida?
I think you have to refer to them as national champion, 2017 national champion, Central Florida University of Central Florida Golden Knights.
Yeah,
Sure.
Basically, the world of Game of Thrones is more real than that national championship.
Right.
Exactly. So, Jake, how do you see this game?
I think UCF is going to win big. Nick Saban is not coaching Kent State anymore, so that's a big negative on them.
Was he ever coaching Kent State?
Yeah, here's at Kent State. He might have played there, but anyway,
he played there. He didn't never coach there. He coached Toledo.
Yeah, Nick Saban is not coming through that door. So anyway, and then they had that coach, Malzahn, who the Gus Bus, apparently the wheels are on down here at Central Florida, or UCF, my bad. So
yeah, you do not do that. You just lost us 10 listeners.
They will fight you over that. So, by the way, John Rice Plumlee plays for Central Florida. Oh, right. Did it again. Yeah. He plays the piano.
Right.
So UCF all day.
UCF. Okay. Yeah. Jip?
Yeah, no, I agree. This is another one where I just don't like the spread, but Kent State is not good. So, and they tend to give up a lot of points, and I think UCF can score a lot of points. So I'm going to take them to cover that. Not happy about it, but I'm doing it.
If it weren't for Akron, I think Kent State would be one of the worst teams in all of FBS.
Yeah.
Coming up this year,
their coach to Colorado.
Yeah, their head coach went to go be an offensive coordinator for Coach Prime. Mm-hmm. Everybody hit the portal. They returned, I think, 2 starters on offense and maybe 1 or 2 starters on defense.
Okay, because they scored like 25 points or something against Georgia, didn't they?
Yeah, they gave Georgia hell.
Yeah,
they were good last year.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that was the head coach. He's gone, and everybody that played.
What is it, Sean Francis or something like that?
Sean Lewis.
Sean Lewis.
Yeah, so he's gone. Kent State is going to be atrocious. So I'm taking UCF easy.
And I'm going to take UCF as well because John Rice Plumlee plays the piano.
Good thing you didn't call him Central Florida. So that wraps up
the Central Florida Golden Knights.
I thought the Golden Flashes.
The Golden Knights play.
Oh my
Golden
goodness!
Flashes.
They're actually just are the Knights now. You can't say that either. It's got to be the UCF Knights and not the Central Florida Golden Knights, because if you say that, they'll get upset.
Oh, good God.
Loser has to drop the golden from their mascot. So, but that is our pick segment presented by Stuarts Cajun Dill Pickles.
Yes.
We thank you. We thank you, Justin.
The pickle picks.
The pickle picks. So that's our first pick segment. Michael, Specs, I hope you can I hope we can all hang with Becky on our picks. But if you missed it, she had the Pumpkin Spice Brigade going down. She what was the other one?
The angry skipping.
She had nothing.
The ukuleles.
The mass holes.
The mass holes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Hawaii ukuleles.
Which, Becky, for whatever reason, there was a guy I worked with named Tom McAuliffe, and that's when I learned that phrase and what it meant. And every time I hear that, I think of him now.
Yeah, I'm with you, Steve. I'm with you on that. Because he had a little bit of that in him especially when he drove. But so Becky coming out of the gates hot. I love it. I love it. So that's going to do it for us here at SEC After Dark. We hope you enjoy your week 0 action. We hope if you played along with your picks, we hope you do well. We hope you go to betonline.ag or wherever you place your bets. Make it betonline.ag. We hope you place your bets, you enjoy a nice Cajun Dill pickle, and you put on your Dead Soxy socks. I think I covered it all. So
we got all the sponsors. All of them.
So for Stephen Willis, Jeb Beecham, Jake Thomas, I am Corey Burton. representing also, shout out to the voice of God, Becky Willis, and our associate producer, Cassidy Thomas. Congrats to the Thomas family on
Thank
having
you.
on
Baby girl Thomas coming into the world.
coming soon. Baby girl Thomas.
Thank you.
I won't reveal the name to the people yet, but unless I'll let you do that. But baby girl Thomas coming soon to an Alabama town near you. But we are SEC After Dark, presented by Dead Soxy, Betonline.ag, and Stuarts Cajun Dill Pickles. So until next week, we will see you back here, better than ever, ready for week 1 action. And you know the drill. Go Dogs.
Go Vols.
Toddy.
Roll Tide.
Anchor down.